Imagine discovering that the heart-healthy snack you pop every afternoon is quietly wrecking the very legs you rely on to stand, stroll, and dance at your granddaughter's wedding. Sound impossible, right? Here's the shocker. 8 everyday fruits. Yes, the ones doctors praise can spike hidden acids, sugars, and crystals that clog veins, inflame joints, and drain the spring from your step. If leg cramps, swelling, or wobbly knees have crept into your life, you might be blaming age when the real culprit is sitting in your fruit bowl. In the next few minutes, we'll count down the worst offenders, reveal the science big food ads won't touch, and arm you with simple swaps that protect your circulation without sacrificing flavor. Ready to find out which healthy bite could be the one tipping you toward Cain? Hit subscribe, ring the bell, and smash that like. Then drop a comment and share this with someone who needs their legs as much as you do. Number 8, the healthy dried fruits that silently damage your leg veins. Let's talk about those convenient grab-and-go snacks that fill the health food aisles, dried fruits. Think about raisins, dates, and those vibrant dried apricots. They're often called nature's candy, a supposedly guilt-free way to handle a sweet craving while getting some fiber. But what if that handful of seemingly innocent fruit is actually a silent saboteur for your legs? The problem begins with how they're made. When you remove all the water from a fruit, you don't just concentrate the flavor, you create a dense little packet of sugar. This intense concentration process can lead to the formation of something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Think of these AGEs as a sticky sludge in your bloodstream. Research has shown that a diet high in AGEs directly contributes to inflammation and stiffening of the delicate walls of your leg veins and capillaries, setting the stage for long-term damage. Then there's the issue of preservation. To keep dried fruits like apricots looking bright orange and shelf-stable, many producers add sulfites. For many people, especially as we get older, sulfites can trigger a quiet, chronic inflammation. This isn't a dramatic allergic reaction, but a low-grade internal irritation that can target soft tissues, including the walls of your veins, leading to weakness and swelling over time. Consider the real-life case of Arthur, a 72-year-old who had been a marathon runner his whole life. He switched from sports gels to what he believed was a healthier choice for fuel, a homemade mix of dates and dried apricots. Within 18 months, he developed severe, painful varicose vein for the first time. His vascular specialist was puzzled until a deep dive into his diet revealed the massive daily intake of concentrated sugars and sulfites. His healthy fuel was actually inflaming the valves in his leg veins, causing blood to pool and the veins to bulge. So, the key takeaway isn't to fear fruit, but to be smart about it. The journey to better leg health often starts not with a new prescription, but with a closer look at what's in your pantry. By understanding how even natural foods can affect your body, you're taking back control, one mindful bite at a time. Number 7, citrus fruits, the acid attack on your walking ability. Many of us have been told that starting the day with a glass of orange juice or warm lemon water is a cornerstone of good health. It feels cleansing, a pure shot of vitamin C. But this daily ritual could be setting up a long-term problem for the very bones that carry you. The primary issue isn't the acid itself causing immediate pain, but something more subtle happening inside your digestive system. The citric acid in oranges, lemons, and grapefruits is a powerful chelator. Think of it like a magnet for minerals. When you drink that glass of orange juice alongside your calcium-fortified cereal, or take your calcium supplement with a glass of lemon water, the citric acid can grab onto that calcium before your body has a chance to absorb it. Essentially, your well-intentioned citrus habit can escort that vital, bone-building mineral right out of your body. Why is this critical for your legs? Your leg bones, from your hip to your ankle, bear the entire weight of your body. They need a constant supply of calcium to stay dense and strong. When your diet is unknowingly blocking calcium absorption day after day, year after year, the consequences are serious. Over time, this can lead to weaker, more brittle bones. This doesn't just mean aches, it means your bones are less resilient. A simple misstep or a minor fall that should have just resulted in a bruise could instead lead to a debilitating fracture. The weakness you might feel isn't in your muscles, but in the very structure of your skeleton. For some individuals, a constant, high intake of acid can also contribute to a low-grade inflammatory state, which can make joints like your knees and hips feel stiff and achy, especially in the morning. But the bigger, more hidden danger is the slow erosion of your bone strength. Consider a woman who diligently took a calcium supplement every morning for years, washing it down with a large glass of lemon water. When she slipped on a rug and suffered a hairline fracture in her lower leg, her doctors were puzzled by her low bone density, given her healthy habits. The problem wasn't what she was eating, it was the combination. Her morning ritual was effectively canceling out her efforts to strengthen her bones. The solution isn't to banish citrus from your life. The key is timing and moderation. If you take a calcium supplement or eat a calcium-rich meal like yogurt or fortified oatmeal, simply wait an hour or two before having your orange juice or lemon water. This gives your body a window to absorb the calcium without interference. It's not about fearing these fruits, but understanding how to make them work for you, ensuring your legs have the strong, solid foundation they need to carry you for years to come. Number 6. Stone fruits. The hidden oxalate bombs destroying your knees. Let's talk about a fruit many of us consider a pure, healthy treat, especially in summer: the apricot. We enjoy them fresh, dried, or cooked into jams. But for your knees, this seemingly innocent fruit could be setting the stage for years of pain. The danger isn't the sugar. It's something far more sinister called oxalates. Think of oxalates as microscopic, needle-sharp crystals. While many plants have them, certain stone fruits, particularly apricots and some varieties of cherries, have exceptionally high concentrations. When you eat too many of these fruits, your body can't get rid of all these tiny crystals. They start to build up in your body, and they are especially drawn to the fluid-filled spaces in your joints, like your hardworking knees. Here is how the damage happens. These oxalate crystals don't just float around. They act like magnets for the calcium in your body. They pull valuable calcium out of your fluids and lock it into a hard, sharp structure called calcium oxalate. So, the problem isn't that you have too much calcium. The problem is that the oxalates are stealing the calcium your body needs and turning it into a weapon that attacks your joints. Consider the real-life story of James, a 68-year-old man who loved his backyard orchard. For decades, he ate fresh apricots and plums every single day in the summer. In the winter, he'd enjoy the jams he made. Over time, he developed a terrible, grinding pain in his knees. He was diagnosed with severe osteoarthritis and ended up needing both knees replaced. While his doctors pointed to age, the hidden culprit was the massive, long-term load of oxalates from his healthy diet. These crystals were acting like sandpaper inside his knees, literally shredding the smooth cartilage with every step he took. Now, here's the most crucial and surprising part. Many of us believe that cooking fruit makes it safer. With oxalates, the exact opposite is true. When you cook apricots down into a jam or a sauce, the water boils away, but the oxalates get left behind. This creates a highly concentrated paste of these joint-destroying crystals. A single spoonful of that homemade apricot jam on your toast could deliver a bigger punch of oxalates than eating 3 whole, fresh apricots. This isn't about being afraid of a single apricot. It's about understanding the cumulative effect. What happens when you consume high amounts day after day, year after year? The very food you trust to be good for you could be silently working to take away your mobility. Knowing this allows you to make smarter choices to protect your joints for the long run. Number 5. Tropical fruits beyond mango. The blood sugar roller coaster. We've all seen them in the grocery store, looking like jewels from a faraway land. The crinkly purple passion fruit, the spiky red lychee, and the vibrant pink dragon fruit. They are marketed as superfoods, packed with exotic nutrients. But what if these beautiful fruits are setting a trap for your feet? One that can cause sudden, excruciating pain that feels like walking on broken glass. The danger isn't just sugar. It's how your body handles a specific type of sugar in high concentrations. The problem lies in their incredibly high load of fructose. Unlike glucose, which your body cells can use for energy, large amounts of fructose are sent straight to the liver for processing. When the liver is overwhelmed by a flood of fructose, like from a large tropical fruit smoothie, it goes into emergency mode. A major waste product of this frantic process is uric acid. You've likely heard of uric acid in relation to red meat or beer as the primary trigger for gout. What most people don't know is that a massive, concentrated dose of fruit sugar can spike your uric acid levels just as effectively, if not more so. When uric acid levels in your blood get too high, the acid can form sharp, needle-like crystals. Because your extremities are cooler than the rest of your body, these crystals tend to deposit in the joints of your feet, especially the big toe and ankle. This can trigger an intensely painful inflammatory response, with severe swelling, redness, and a sensitivity so extreme that even the weight of a bedsheet can be unbearable. It's a classic gout attack, but its origin is hidden in a healthy fruit blend. Consider the story of William, a 72-year-old who prided himself on his active lifestyle and healthy diet. To boost his antioxidant intake, he started making a daily smoothie with a blend of passion fruit, lychee, and other tropical fruits. One morning, he woke up to a throbbing, searing pain in his right big toe. It was so swollen and red he could barely walk. His doctor was puzzled. Arthur rarely ate red meat and didn't drink alcohol. It wasn't until a detailed diet review that they identified the culprit. The massive, concentrated fructose bomb from his daily smoothie was causing his uric acid levels to skyrocket. But the assault doesn't stop at your joints. These microscopic uric acid crystals are abrasive. As they travel through your bloodstream, they can scrape and damage the delicate inner lining of your capillaries, the tiniest blood vessels in your legs and feet. This injury impairs circulation, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach your tissues. Over time, this can contribute to persistent swelling, poor wound healing, and a feeling of coldness in your feet, compounding the misery caused by the joint pain. This doesn't mean you must fear all fruit. The key is to understand the difference between a whole fruit and a concentrated dose. Eating a single passion fruit or a few lychees as a snack is perfectly fine. Your liver can handle that manageable amount of fructose. The danger comes from the concentrated forms, the large smoothies, juices, and oversized fruit bowls that deliver an unnatural, overwhelming sugar load to your system. The path to lasting health isn't found in exotic superfoods, but in balanced, sensible choices that work with your body, not against it. Number 4, the potassium paradox, when bananas become your enemy. For decades, the advice has been the same. If you get a leg cramp, eat a banana. It's the standard remedy from coaches, parents, and even doctors. Bananas are loaded with potassium, an electrolyte vital for muscle function. But for many people over 60, this trusted remedy could be the very cause of debilitating muscle weakness and excruciating cramps. This is the potassium paradox. Here is the critical piece of the puzzle almost always left out of the conversation: your kidneys. Healthy kidneys are masters at filtering your blood and keeping electrolytes like potassium in perfect balance. When you eat a banana, they simply get rid of any excess potassium your body doesn't need. However, as we age, a gradual and often silent decline in kidney function is incredibly common. It isn't necessarily a disease, but a natural part of the aging process. When your kidneys become less efficient at filtering, the excess potassium from a healthy habit can start to build up in your bloodstream. This condition is known as hyperkalemia. When potassium levels climb too high, they disrupt the delicate electrical signals that nerves send to your muscles. Instead of helping your muscles contract smoothly, the excess potassium causes them to become weak, tired, and prone to misfiring. Consider the case of Clarence, a 75-year-old who loved his daily walks. To stay energized and prevent cramps, he developed a routine. One banana blended into his morning power smoothie, another sliced over his oatmeal, and a third as a post-walk recovery snack. But instead of feeling stronger, he began experiencing profound leg weakness on gentle hills he used to handle easily. Worse, he was being woken up several times a night by severe, deep cramps in his calves. His doctor, initially puzzled, ordered an electrocardiogram, or ECG. The results showed a classic sign of high potassium, tall, peaked T waves. This pattern on an ECG is a direct visual of how excess potassium short-circuits the electrical system of the body's muscles, including the most important one, the heart. His healthy banana habit was overloading his aging kidneys and systematically weakening his legs. This brings us to those agonizing nighttime leg cramps. When you lie down to sleep, your circulation changes and your muscles are at rest, in a state of high potassium. This is when the electrical instability can truly take hold, triggering sudden, powerful, and involuntary contractions that jolt you awake. The very thing you're eating to stop cramps is actually creating the perfect storm for them to happen while you sleep. This isn't about fearing bananas. It's about understanding that your body's needs and abilities change over time. The advice that worked for you at 30 might be counterproductive at 70. True health in our later years comes not from blindly following old rules, but from listening carefully to our own bodies and working with a doctor to understand our unique and changing needs. Number 3, grapes. The tiny time bombs in your blood vessels. We've all heard it. A glass of red wine is good for the heart. By extension, we assume grapes, nature's candy, are even better. But what if those little fruits are a hidden danger for your legs, especially if you're taking common medications for cholesterol or blood clotting? For Julian, a 74-year-old retired history professor, switching from his nightly glass of wine to a large bowl of fresh grapes seemed like the ultimate heart-healthy decision. It nearly cost him his leg. After a diagnosis of atrial fibrillation, Julian's doctor put him on warfarin, a standard blood thinner. Believing he was making a smarter choice, he swapped the wine for a daily bowl of dark grapes. A few months later, a deep, persistent ache started in his right calf. He dismissed it as a muscle strain until the day he couldn't walk. An ultrasound revealed a deep vein thrombosis, DVT, a large, dangerous blood clot. How could this happen when he was on a blood thinner? The cruel paradox lies in the grape skins. They're loaded with vitamin K, the very compound that warfarin is designed to counteract. By eating a concentrated amount of grapes every day, Julian was unknowingly consuming an antidote to his medication, making it ineffective and allowing a clot to form. But the danger doesn't stop there, and it affects millions more who take statins for high cholesterol. Compounds in grapes can interfere with a critical liver enzyme called CYP3A4. Think of this enzyme as the body's cleanup crew that processes and removes medications. When grape compounds block this crew, the statin medication isn't cleared properly. It builds up in your blood to potentially toxic levels. This buildup dramatically increases the risk of the drug's most feared side effect, severe muscle pain and weakness, a condition called myopathy that often strikes the large muscles of the legs. This isn't just a simple cramp. It's a sign of direct chemical damage, where the muscle tissue itself becomes inflamed and can even start to break down from the drug overdose. You're left with a double-edged sword. For those on blood thinners like warfarin, grapes can neutralize the drug, increasing clot risk. For those on statins, they can amplify the drug, leading to toxic muscle damage. The well-known warning to avoid grapefruit juice with certain medications should absolutely be extended to concentrated amounts of grapes. The lesson here isn't to fear fruit. It's to respect the powerful chemistry happening inside your body. The conversation you have with your doctor or pharmacist about these interactions isn't just a good idea. It could be the most important one you have. Number 2, watermelon, the wolf in sheep's clothing. On a hot day, it's hard to beat a cool slice of watermelon. It's refreshing, full of water, and just feels like a healthy treat. But for some seniors, especially those managing their blood pressure, there's something important to know about this popular fruit. Watermelon contains a natural compound that is very good at relaxing and widening your blood vessels. While this can be beneficial for some people, it can create a problem if you're already taking medication for high blood pressure. Your medication is designed to do that exact same thing. Eating a large amount of watermelon can be like taking an extra, unmeasured dose of your prescription. This can cause your blood pressure to drop too low too quickly. You might not notice it while you're sitting down, but the danger often appears when you stand up. That sudden feeling of dizziness or lightheadedness when you get out of a chair is a classic sign of a blood pressure drop. For a senior, that moment of dizziness is a serious fall risk. This effect is much stronger when you have watermelon juice, as the compounds are far more concentrated than in a simple slice. And because watermelon has such a high water content, it can also act as a diuretic. This means it makes you urinate more frequently, which can flush essential minerals like potassium out of your system. A lack of these minerals can lead to muscle weakness and cramps in your legs, making you feel less steady on your feet. This doesn't mean you have to give up watermelon entirely. It's all about moderation and awareness. Enjoy a slice or two, but maybe avoid eating half a melon in one sitting or drinking large glasses of watermelon juice. The key is to enjoy this summer fruit wisely, understanding how it can interact with your body and your medications, so you can stay safe and stable. Number 1, the ultimate betrayal. Pineapple's triple threat to senior legs. All right, let's talk about our final and perhaps most surprising topic. We all see pineapple as a symbol of hospitality, a healthy taste of the tropics. But for seniors, this fruit can hide a serious threat, launching a silent attack on your body, specifically targeting your nervous system and your legs. The first problem starts with something you might think is good, a mineral called manganese. Pineapple is loaded with it. Now, we need a little manganese, but as we get older, our kidneys and liver aren't as efficient at clearing out any excess. When manganese builds up in your system, it can become toxic to your nerves. Researchers have shown that too much manganese can damage the parts of the brain and nervous system that control movement. What does this look like in real life? It can cause muscle stiffness, tremors, and a shuffling walk. These are symptoms that so many people, maybe even you or your doctor, would tragically dismiss as just a normal part of getting old. It's a slow, creeping sabotage of your nerve function, coming from a fruit you believed was your friend. But the danger doesn't stop there. It's amplified by how pineapples are grown and processed. You might think you're being careful by avoiding the tough, fibrous core. But in commercially farmed pineapples, that core can act like a sponge, concentrating pesticides. Some of these chemical residues are known to contribute to nerve damage, which can lead to that tingling, numbness, and weakness in the legs. And if you think reaching for a can of pineapple is a safer choice, you need to hear this. The high acidity of pineapple can actually cause aluminum to leach from the lining of the can into the fruit. Aluminum is another substance that has been well documented as being harmful to the nervous system. So with canned pineapple, you could be getting a cocktail of excess manganese and leached aluminum, a double blow to your nerve health. The purpose of this is not to create fear, but to give you the information you need to make truly informed choices for your own health. Your journey should be guided by awareness, not just by marketing slogans. Instead of reaching for pineapple, consider fruits like berries, which are packed with antioxidants without these specific risks, or gentle pears. The most powerful tool you have is knowledge. What will you do with it?